A wife recently made a cleaning confession on Scary Mommy. Garcelle knows I love Scary Mommy. Saying, quote,
Yes, you do.
we need to hire a cleaning person at home, but I want an ugly one because I'm self-conscious and I have trust issues. She was being very transparent here, obviously. And while many of us actually would agree that an extra hand around the house would be super nice, many women actually admitted that they would not want another woman in their home, especially if she's pretty. So, ladies, what would you advise this worried wife to do?
So you got to go to Tree Monsters Are Us to find you a housekeeper or babysitter. What is... Men will do... It don't matter
100%.
what the looks...
If it's not the housekeeper, it's going to be somebody else.
Exactly. I think obviously she was saying she wants to feel better. She doesn't want a pretty person around the house. But my thing is, the only reason you would hire someone who is unattractive is if your husband had a roving eye and he was checking out other people.
Exactly.
That you wouldn't want a pretty housekeeper in the house. But like you said,
Really?
they will do
She has trust
anybody.
issues.
They will do anybody. It doesn't matter.
You got a bigger
Then that
problem.
was
You got to
my-
worry about putting a woman in your household. That's a bigger issue right there.
I don't know about that.
Wait, you think that they shouldn't put somebody to clean their house? Clean your own house? Is that what you're saying?
Garcelle?
No, I feel
I
like
don't think-
there's not a problem with having someone in the house. I wouldn't want a supermodel. If I was married, I wouldn't do that. I had a friend of mine who hired a babysitter, and she came to school to pick up the kids, and she had on short shorts, her blonde hair was down to her waist. I mean, she was really pretty, and I was like, girl, what are you doing hiring her? Like, that's asking for trouble. Because she's married and her husband's cute too. Yes.
What?
You don't?
I just think it gets complicated. I think it gets complicated in this sense. I literally have seen
How?
men who could have literally let's say you're just trying to protect them and stop them from doing what they want to do, they will find a way.
Yeah.
So a man that
Yeah,
wants to
that's
cheat
true.
on you is going to cheat on you with the housekeeper, the librarian,
That's true.
the mechanic, they going to figure it out, right?
We've seen
and then
it.
you didn't hire somebody who was pretty. You didn't hire somebody who was pretty because you thought he might cheat on her. So now not only do you have a cheating ass husband, but you also have a dirty ass house. So this is my thing. A man that wants to cheat on you is going to cheat on you. And a man that does not want to cheat on you is not going to cheat on you. Because that means self-discipline.
That's
and that means
integrity.
that
It's
the
integrity.
constitution of who he is, correct, the constitution and the integrity of who he is I even think if he felt like this is a temptation situation, boom, that rhymed, he might actually be like, I think this is doing a lot. Homegirl is walking around here, her little breasts, it's a lot going on. I actually think that if it was really that tempting and he was a good person, he would give you the heads up. Like,
He would say something.
This is a weird
So,
situation for
would
me.
There's a way. I mean, you
Yeah.
Let me
interview
tell you,
somebody
Adrian,
and you
can I
can...
ask you a question? Adrian,
Yeah.
a J-Lo lookalike comes and you are thinking of hiring her in the house. Would you do that if she looked like J-Lo?
I might, but can I be honest with you?
Y'all,
I literally
I want you to
would
be.
hire her more so
No.
that I can stare at her because I think J-Lo's stunning. And I might sit with my
Exactly.
husband and be like, this girl is gorgeous. And I feel like Iz would be like, oh, she looks like J-Lo. And continue to,
You're a
I
freak.
don't know.
You're a freak.
I just,
freak.
he's,
I think
and
if you
gotta remember, my
interview them
husband's a lot
correctly-
older than me. So it's like,
right.
Yeah,
I think
mean,
if you
'cause
interview
somebody could
them
look beautiful, and if I'm
correctly,
being
you can
honest,
find out what type of
Lonnie,
person
do
they
I not
are.
have stunning
And
friends that are around my husband
you
all
have
the
beautiful.
time?
They always
I'm
walking
sure.
around your
I'm sure
house.
you do.
Beautiful.
I don't care.
And
I'm
we
sure
don't be
you do.
like, I don't see Israel going.
No, he
I
does-
don't. See,
he'll be like,
he's
she's pretty.
cool with what
Okay.
he got. He's cool with what
Yeah.
he has. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is when you interview somebody, you kind of figure out what type of person they are. Plus, it's also called, as a babysitter, there's an appropriate way to dress with children around, with your husband. I just don't think we should punish women for being beautiful. Now, if she's intentionally doing
No.
something, you will
Correct.
see that. But, I mean, come on,
Correct.
Tree
No, no one's
Monsters,
saying
they get
that.
they freak on too. Believe that. Tree Monsters.
Absolutely. So, Garcelle, I have to ask you though, you really would not hire like an attractive woman to come work in your home?
No, that's how I was brought up. In terms of somebody who is like, ridiculously beautiful. No, but it's more cultural for me.
Culturally, is that like, it's just you're putting temptation in your home? Culturally, what do you mean when you say that?
Yes, that's what I was taught growing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I was taught growing up. Yeah. And maybe that came from somebody's experience that I don't know about. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's what I was taught.
I totally got it.
Yeah, I think everyone knows their relationship, and I also think they know their relationship's limits. You know what I mean? Like, this would be going too far, or this wouldn't be going too far. Because obviously, would I have a topless woman cleaning my house? Absolutely not.
Right.
So there is a boundary there.
During the break, Garcelle had a really interesting story and a really interesting twist. So, Garcelle, take it away.
Thanks, Lonnie. I was thinking as we were talking about it, would you hire an attractive male to be in your house working? I remember at one point I said to my ex, I was like, oh, maybe we should get a guy babysitter. That way, we're both working. He can play with the kids, take them to the park. And he was like, I don't want another man around my kids. And what I thought was interesting is if I had when I had a female babysitter, that's having another woman around my kids. So in a way, there's a double standard to it. Would you guys ever hire a hot guy to work at your house, or
Yes, I would.
I literally have never thought of this, but absolutely, I don't.
Would you?
Man, I haven't seen no hot men that I could hire like that, but I absolutely do believe I would. If he can get a job done, that's phenomenal. I would say yes.
Would Israel be okay with it though?
I've never discussed this with him, so I would have to ask him, but I really don't think he'd care. I don't think I honestly don't think he'd notice. No, he doesn't pay attention to stuff like that in that way. I don't think he'd notice on that level. Wait, I'm trying to remember that's okay. Sorry, that's actually not true. I did have a producer one time, a music producer I was cutting a song with that was very attractive, and my friend Lana pointed out that he was attractive, and then we saw that Israel was hearing our conversation like, excuse me, type thing.
Okay.
So then we intentionally kept going with it to piss Israel off, like, because he never gets jealous and he's just not like that. So we kept being like, oh, can't wait for the producer to come to work with me. And we were doing that on purpose, but he really didn't care.
Yeah.
He ended up becoming friends with the guy, and it was, but for
I'm
a second
still
there,
for
him
the
hearing us say
beautiful
that the guy was
people.
attractive, he
Lonnie,
was like,
stop.
don't play yourself.
Because, we're assuming that if you bring somebody beautiful in your house, that they're automatically going to sleep with the person. And maybe they have standards. Maybe they don't want to be with your husband or your wife or
Everybody
something
that's
like
really
that.
good looking isn't attractive necessarily.
Huh?
Oh.
What's that?
You're right. The personality can be different.
Everyone that's
I've
good
always
looking
had a fantasy about a
isn't
pool boy, though.
necessarily attractive. You have?
Wait a minute. What?
Do tell. But okay, even if
Yes,
you got
like
an
I'm
attractive
laying by
pool
the
boy
pool.
and then you actually start having conversations with him, what if he's whack? And I'm sorry, but
Nobody's
like my
talking
husband
to
has
him.
literally told me before, like, there are women that have been wildly stunning and they have no personality, or they're just corny,
Sure,
or
of
they're
course.
just not, there's
Of
no
course,
attraction
of
there.
course. In my pool boy fantasy, we're not talking. So I don't care about his personality.
You don't even want to get into the personality. You're like,
No, I don't care about that.
Don't care
it's
about
my
it.
fantasy.
Oh, you
No, I
know
don't care.
what? You're a mess.
I get it. I get it.